Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Patreon podcast. This week, I wanted to talk about retaining your flexibility as an artist. This is kind of a salient point for me, simply because I know at the end of 2023, I'm planning on kind of refocusing my efforts on a lot of different things. I'm planning on stopping the 2-hour track challenge. I'm kind of thinking about how I want to manage streams and my creative output in the future. And it's like all of this is important to me because, or all of this really has value to me because I am able to retain my flexibility. And I think that this says a lot about just kind of like my artistic intent, where like I'm not trying to get wrapped up in a particular thing. I'm not trying to be like the drum and bass artist. I'm not trying to be like the guy who makes the songs in 2 hours. Like I just want to make things. And I think that it's important to have that kind of flexibility when you are approaching your art as a business, because like trends do change. And I think it's important to at least be aware of those trends, if not to follow them, or like do the counterculture thing and like not follow them and do the opposite, which is also completely valid. And I think that like remaining flexible with that kind of stuff, and like, to be clear, it's very hard to remain flexible. Like I'm terrified of stopping the 2-hour track challenge for that reason, because like I don't know what I'll do with my time after the challenge ends. Like I'll still do music, but will I be able to do music without a timer ticking down? Like, is it going to be the same kind of viewership? Is it going to be the same kind of stream? Like, it's a lot of different things that I have to figure out. And, you know, doing the stream every week with a 2-hour time limit, that's safe and it's easy, but it's also kind of starting to wear on me in a way that makes it feel boring. And like, I think that translates into the audience, like watching it and the songs that I make to some degree too. So I want to try to be flexible and I want to try new things. And I think that it's also important from like a business perspective to remain flexible, because like it's so easy to become, like I said, like the drum and bass guy or something. And if you have a diverse array of products that you put out, whether that's music or art or whatever, like if you're a digital artist, for example, if you're a visual artist, like you can have your actual printed pieces, you can have buttons, you can have like digital downloads of stuff, like animated things, like you have so many options, and it would be really limiting to just choose one of those to do everything with. And with music, like the genres can change. Like obviously, like exporting difference between like MP3 and WAV file or whatever is not exactly the same, but like you can release CDs, you can release like video content focused on your music. Sorry, just like brief aside, I started watching Koyaanisqatsi again, which is a Philip Glass movie, basically a very long music video by Philip Glass. It's very interesting. It's, I don't know, Koyaanisqatsi is Koyaanisqatsi if you wanted to look it up. It's very good. I think you can find a free one online. But anyway, but that's beside the point. The point is that like I was just kind of interested in consuming different media again, and like I can get music through video, and like that kind of flexibility allows people to expand their boundaries, because another really important thing, or kind of a frustrating thing, is that once a market becomes popular, it becomes like oversaturated, and over time, the term is market calcification, meaning that it becomes like hardened. It doesn't really allow new people into that market because it's so either super saturated, or you can't like your voice can't be heard in there, or it gets super consolidated. And nobody else can get in because they've cornered the market. It's kind of like Amazon, right? Like Amazon started this whole thing where they were very, very cheap, and suddenly everybody kind of flocked to them and relied on them, and then they just keep raising their rates, and then the market is just calcified because nobody else can get in. Nobody else can start something like that because they're so big now. And I think that can happen with certain art styles and art projects and stuff. And I think that it's important to remain flexible in that regard as well. Like, yeah, I've done the 2-hour track challenge for a very long time, and I think that it turned out great. but I think I'm ready to move on. I maybe somebody else will take up the mantle and be the 2-hour track challenge guy for a while. Who knows? But I know I'll still be doing music. But like that whole flexibility is so valuable and so important, and it's really scary to try to figure out like what you want to do next. And I still haven't figured it out, but I want to try, and I wanted to kind of just talk about that real briefly because it's just really important. So yeah, if you guys have thoughts, just let me know. I don't really have anything else on here aside from just like kind of bringing the topic up, which is a lot of what these episodes are. I just kind of bring the topic up and let you think about it. I don't really have an answer, but I think that it's very good to remain flexible. And I implore you to do so, whether or not you're getting bored with the art you're doing, or if you've just been doing it for a long time, you need to change a pace. I think that it's really important to just give it a try. So that's everything I have. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. I hope that you have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Be remarkable.